The message is clear. Protesters are marching against racial injustice, but white nationalists and the extreme right are trying to hijack that message.
All right, everybody, back
The Institute for Research and Education on Human Rights has been tracking videos and photos from the extreme right and the Boogaloo-related incidents in the George Floyd protests. The Boogaloo Boys is an anti-government group with ties to white supremacists. The Institute found evidence of 116 cases where the extreme right infiltrated protests, and it happened in 30 states as well as in D.C.
We anticipate to see that number going up significantly as the protests start to wane. We've noticed more far-right activists lurking around the edges of those protests, often looking for further opportunities to engage and to create mayhem and havoc amongst those protesters. So we anticipate as things start to calm down a little bit, that actually our work will intensify.
In the city of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, police said white nationalists participated in early protests there.
We also saw definite evidence that we believe white nationals were here, white nationalist groups were here. Anytime my officers were pelted with rocks or water bottles filled with cayenne pepper, it was coming from Caucasian individuals within the crowd.
Lancaster City Police identified white agitators by the Greek phrase molon labe tattoos, which means come and take them. It's associated with pro-gun white nationalists and the alt-right.
These are people who are looking to bring harm to black and brown bodies.
Lancaster City Council President ISMAIL Smith-Waddell warned his community to keep a vigilant eye.
We were concerned that people who did not share the interest of the protests or the interest of the city would come and cause disruption with the ultimate goal of causing harm to the people at the protest.
The Counter-Extremism Project found right after the protests began in Minneapolis a violent neo-Nazi accelerationist Telegram channel with over 5,500 members broadcast the message that now is a good time to commit a murder. Experts we spoke to say the extreme right and white nationalists aren't outnumbering protesters. But while they are small in numbers, some are using this opportunity to recruit.
They've been putting posters and stickers in the vicinity of the protests that are specifically addressing people who they hope to recruit to their groups. They want people to view these protests as a threat.
Still, while extremist groups are interrupting the peaceful protests, Smith-Waddell is hopeful.
Despite their best efforts, I think thousands of people are still participating and protesting.
Kat Sandoval, Newsy, Allentown, Pennsylvania.